There we go. Some technical difficulties. I think I'm live now. Yes. Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Rachel and I'm the proud founder of Seyopa, Seize Your Passion. And I'm here live from the Facebook group Seize Your Passion every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Share my journey with you, my journey of personal growth and my journey to seize my passion and become my best self and fulfill all of my dreams. So this week, I was inspired unexpectedly and from a source on a day and in a place that was not really, I wasn't looking for it in the context of being inspired to seize my passion, meaning being inspired to fulfill all my dreams, become my best self, and achieve the personal growth that I'm looking for. So as I'm sure many of you are aware, this past week was Yom Kippur, or in my American accent, Yom Kippur. And for those of you that may not know, or as a reminder to those of you who do, Yom Kippur is considered the most sacred day of the year in Judaism. In fact, the entire 10 days from the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, until Yom Kippur are considered the most sacred, are considered the most sacred time of the year in Judaism, right? And what Yom Kippur is known to be about on a very sort of surfaced first level reference point is a day where you ask forgiveness for your wrongdoings for the past year from anyone who you've done those wrongdoings to. And, you know, unfortunately, my experience and my perspective is that, again, unfortunately, when it comes to any organized religion, there often is a lot of hypocrisy and very surface level thinking involved and exploitation of the real meaning and depth and ideas behind that religion, again, regardless of what religion we're talking about. And this year, and again, because it's considered Yom Kippur the most sacred day in Judaism, a lot of Jews who don't necessarily practice Judaism regularly do go to synagogue on that day. A lot of them who don't practice Judaism regularly do fast on that day, again, because it's considered the most sacred time and you're supposed to ask for this forgiveness, on a very surfaced initial level. So I too went to synagogue this year on that day, and I was really unexpectedly inspired by what that day meant, what the notion behind not just the idea of Yom Kippur and asking forgiveness really means, which I'll get into in a second, but really all the ideas behind religion, again, regardless of denomination, are really about self-improvement and personal growth and seizing your passion. And it was the last place I expected to be inspired to feel that connection to that part of myself of personal growth and self-improvement. And yet it happened largely because of the very inspiring sermon that the rabbi at the synagogue that I went to gave. And specifically, what he talked about, well, before I go into what he talked about specifically, I want to sort of delve deeper into the true meaning of what Yom Kippur is about and why I think it's really about self-improvement and personal growth and seizing your passion at the end of the day. And then I'll go into specifically what he was talking about and how he manifested that in his sermon. So again, the sort of surface level understanding of what it's about is asking forgiveness for all your wrongdoings, right? But it's not just asking forgiveness for forgiveness sake. In fact, the real meaning of the word that embodies what it's about, which is tshuva, means to return. And the idea is to return to yourself, or more specifically, to return to your highest or best self. Again, becoming your best self is a big part of what personal growth and self-improvement is. And so too is this notion, this religious notion of tshuva on Yom Kippur in Judaism. And that notion of returning to your best self ties in with the specific example that, again, this rabbi spoke about, which is, he spoke about basically not squandering your potential. He spoke about the fact that each and every one of us has the potential inside of us to become our best and highest self. And that oftentimes life gets in the way and we miscarry, to use his terminology, we miscarry the potential inside of us. And what a shame that is, right? We have this one life to live, and so many of us get caught up in the hustle and the bustle and the phones and the messages and the work and the emails and the kids and the things we have to do that we forget to actually be present. He spoke a lot about being present and being mindful. And so we end up and being compassionate and being kind and tapping into and fulfilling our dreams and tapping into, again, becoming the best versions of ourselves that he can be. He was standing up there talking about these things, and I was thinking, oh my God, this is Seize Your Passion. This is exactly what it's about. And it inspired me so much, and it was so beautiful because it was so unexpected. I did not expect to be inspired in that way and to tie and connect the true and deep meaning behind this concept in Judaism with Seize Your Passion. And it got me thinking that really any religion, I think, when you really focus on the deeper, true meaning of the core ideas behind the dogmas or the rules, or unfortunately sometimes the exploitation and the hypocrisy of those rules, when you really delve into what they stand for and the ideas behind them in any religion, again, the ideas of compassion and self-reflection and forgiveness and, you know, becoming your best and highest self, that's personal development, that's self-improvement, that's personal growth. Inspiration comes when you have an open mind and heart. Often we are not looking for it. Such a powerful message. Thanks for sharing. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Yes. And you know, I think that was part of what was so profound about it for me, because I really was not expecting to even connect, you know, what I do and my going after fulfilling my dreams with regards to Seize Your Passion and Seyopa with, you know, the rabbi's sermon at synagogue on Yom Kippur. It was the last thing I expected. And it was so powerful, the inspiration I received. And I thank Rabbi New for that. And I thank you guys for listening and for appreciating the power of that message. And I want to get into a little bit, and then I'll sign off. I want to get into a little bit what he spoke about specifically. You know, he spoke about not squandering your potential, and basically, you know, we have this one life, and what a waste it would be to miscarry that potential and not become our best versions of ourselves, right? That's why we're here. And that's just a universal truth. I don't care what religion, what politics, what anything you follow, you know, that's humankind. And it has been since the beginning of time. But he spoke specifically, again, about really the idea of being present. And that really, you know, I kind of soaked that in for a bit and let it marinate. And I realized, and I often say this, right? I say this all the time, that often the most extraordinary ideas and the most inspirational ideas are the simplest ones. The problem is because they're so simple and because they often become cliches because we hear them so often, we sort of just hear them on surface level, and that's it. It goes in one ear and out the other, and we don't really marinate them. We don't let them marinate within us, and then we don't actually implement them, right? So this idea of being present, right? Yeah, I've heard that. Of course I've heard that before, right? Who hasn't? Yeah, you got to be present, enjoy the moment, be mindful, don't take things for granted. But really, do we stop and really think about it and let it marinate? And do we actually implement that and do that behavior in our everyday lives? And not just on Yom Kippur, by the way, every single day, right? We should be trying to become our best selves and work on our self-reflection and be truly present, not let the hustle and bustle of life. I'm not saying don't go after your goals and don't do what you need to do, but make sure, this is what I'm telling myself, right? This is what his sermon inspired me to think about. Make sure that every day, again, not just on whatever day is sacred for you, and not just once a year, but every single day, make sure to stop and really think about the notion of being present and actually, fulfilling your potential in that way and focusing on all those things, self-reflection, personal growth, becoming the best and highest version of yourself, while simultaneously fulfilling your dreams, because that is how you will fulfill your dreams and become your best self. And not letting, again, life distract you and just, oh yeah, be present, I know that, but really you're not, because you're constantly, trying to catch up almost. And I think that's what causes often for a lot of us to feel like we're sort of losing control of our goals or of our life, because we're on this rat race and we don't stop and really think about the things that matter and the ideas that we know but don't let marinate and actually implement, so that they do become extraordinarily inspirational. I just started reading The Alchemist again. I read it years and years ago. I don't even really remember it. I mean, I remember the notion of it and what it did for me then, but I'm reading it again as if for the first time. And one of the first, I think it's in the first chapter, the second chapter, the author states that very idea that I always say, and I'm saying it again here, the most extraordinary ideas and notions and the most inspirational ones are often the simplest. The problem is that most people don't really get the depth and the meaning behind those simple ideas. And one of those simple ideas is, I think, what this rabbi spoke about at this sermon, Rabbi New, which is really being present and not letting yourself get caught up in life and therefore squandering and miscarrying your potential. And each and every one of us does have that potential. Each and every one of us has the potential. That's why we're here. At the end of the day, that's why we're here. I believe that. To become our best self. So true. We must implement. Yes. Thank you, Liz. So that's it. That was really, it was a beautiful and a really powerful moment of inspiration. Again, so unexpected. And thank you. Thank you, Rabbi New, again. And I'm really glad I went. And it really made me stop and think. And that's what's going to make me implement. And again, every single day. At the end of the day, it's really, again, focusing, again, another cliche, but again, if we let it marinate and we truly focus on it, then the depth and the meaning behind it is tremendously powerful, which is, your thoughts, what you focus on actually affects the physical world. And what you focus on and what you believe will become. And you start to take action. And it starts to be one. Your thoughts and your focus become one with your actions, become one with your heart, become one with your soul, and become one with the universe and with the outside world. And I think that that's really what religion is about at its core. If you strip away the stuff that man sort of put on top of it, and you strip away the dogmas, and you strip away some of the hypocrisies, and again, any religion, it doesn't have to be Judaism, any single religion, the notions behind it are all about personal growth, self-improvement, compassion, reflection, and becoming your best self. So yeah. So I'm feeling very peaceful and inspired. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. So that was, you know, a surprising, unexpected source of inspiration. Like I said, I would love to hear from you guys. I already received a ton of emails, and I thank you if you're one of them. I'm looking for examples of what inspires you. You know, what story inspires you in the realm of personal growth, fulfilling your dreams, becoming your best self. It could be an article, it could be a book, it could be a blog, it could be a movie. Thanks, Cheryl. And if you're shy or kind of feel funny posting it in the comments on Facebook, in the Facebook group here, by all means, send it in an email to me, Rachel@seyopa.com, RACHEL@SEYOPA.com. I really, really, really want to know what inspires you, what stories inspire you. And, you know, it could be unexpected like it was for me this week. It could be just an article you happen to stumble upon. It could be a video. It could be a book, like I said. Really, what made you think, what inspired you to, yeah, I want to be better, or I want to go after that dream, or I want to work on becoming my best self. What really spoke to you and made you connect with that potential inside of you and that highest version of yourself? I would love it if you would help me and send me some examples. Again, either post them here, or if you're shy, and thank you again for those who have already. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Really, really helpful. And if you're shy or feel more comfortable, just send me it in the email, Rachel@Seyopa.com, and I promise it's just for research purposes for the development of the platform. That's it. Have a great weekend, everyone, and seize your passion. Become your best self every day. Bye, guys.